All right. Hold on. You turn off this music. Okay, Google, turn off the music. All right. So this is actually one. This is stand up, but it's one-on-one, and then it transitions over to stand up, where we'll have Yura join, maybe Alice also, and then I think Parvez might start joining. He put in his 2 weeks at his
Oh
lab.
yeah.
Yeah, he didn't not like his manager, so um, he was like, "Deuces, I'm done. I don't want this stuff."
I'm
Right?
out.
So, number one reason that you don't like the company that you work for is your boss is a dickhead, right? Or
Yeah.
the female version of a dickhead. Uh, so yeah, he's done. So he's gonna help out a little bit more while he's looking for his next gig. Um,
Nice.
I've been looking at the analytics. I don't know. Have you used Google Analytics before?
No, I enabled the Vercel Analytics a few days ago or yesterday.
Does that show analytics
Uh,
now?
yeah,
Okay, so here's
but only for our billing site. Yeah.
here's yeah, we got like all of our stats in terms of last 7 days, what we're getting. And I think this is just going to get better and better as we have more blogs that are topical and they're getting indexed now. I didn't know about this actually, but you need to submit your sitemap to Google Search Console, and then they'll actually go and hit all the links to index it
Oh,
into Google if it
nice.
misses it with the actual crawler. So now all of our blogs are getting pulled in, so it's getting ranked. So if you actually search for the actual title of the blog, you'll get it in Google as the first hit, right?
Oh,
So
that's cool.
we're gonna. I looked into like how much should you blog, right? So the maximum you want to do is like a daily blog, right? And it's just so easy with Haley to
Yeah.
do a blog, right? So, but we're very clear on the blog. It says at the end, Haley did this blog. You know, this is Haley's blog. This is not a although Alice is the one that's like giving the topic, and then but Haley's writing it. And at the end, it says, you too can have Haley help you write your SEO blog spam for your website. Here, click here and install. So I think it'll just like as we get more and more different topics, we'll start ranking higher up the list of Google, and we'll get organic traffic that way. So and that's free. So I mean, we're trying to optimize for all the free inbound that we can get. So that's one initiative. I'm also let me share this blog with you that I'm going to share once we know that the README is rock solid, meaning a noob can come in there, run it without issue. Then I'm
Yeah, I'm
gonna.
working on that. I was trying to like do a full recording, like following the README,
Uh,
record the screen and create the app and set up everything. So yeah, I'm doing that right now.
okay, so if you want, I have the Reels tool that has like the AI talker with and you can show images step by
Oh,
step.
after I have the video, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, if you want to do well, we can do both. One looks more professional, but then we can say, hey, if you want to see a step by step, see Fede's video on his 5 minute clip of how to run the. Well, maybe we'll just use yours. So yeah, just do like a video. If you can do a thing where you can get your head in there also, the corner
Okay.
as you're talking. Um, there's a loop. Have you ever used loop?
Yeah, I think I've heard of it, but never used it.
Yeah, that
I think
makes
I
it
used it
easy.
for some interview someday. And yeah, I think some interviews like make you record your screen to do the challenge. I think I
Mhm.
use it for that.
To make sure you're not cheating.
Yeah.
Then you just pull out your phone, or you have a separate. I always this is an idea, a startup idea. It's to help people cheat on interviews, where
That's not a good idea.
I'm not gonna do it. I've had a lot of ideas where I'm just like, that could be something, but the ramifications are bad, right? So like I had my idea for Snitcher, which is an app where you take a picture of someone breaking the law, and then Snitcher partners with the local community, or not the local law enforcement to get a cut of the
Yeah.
fine, right? So you take all these
Okay.
pictures of them breaking, because in my over here where people park on the street, they park in the red everywhere, in front of
Oh,
fire hydrants and stuff like that. And so I was like, man, this is like out of hand. There must be an app where you can snitch on your neighbor. But that's the problem. That now you get like people snitching on their neighbors, and it just creates a distrustful environment. So I was like,
yeah.
I don't want to be associated with that app. It's good. I think it's a good idea, but it's the consequences of doing it right and making everybody snitch on each other. It just makes, you're just making enemies, right?
An eye
Although
for
be
an eye.
anonymous when
Yeah.
you snitch, right? And so the other idea, so I just have a lot of ideas where it's just like uh, ideas that help people um, do someone else wrong. So the other idea was like, all right, when you're interviewing for a company, you use like OpenAI's Whisper or something that's voice to text. It sends it over. It detects when there's a question, right, from the interviewer, and then automatically tells you like the answer, or at least
Oh
hide
yeah.
bullet or something.
You will be like froze like for 10 seconds and then
Well, you can also
you
you
get
you
the
can
answer.
install the plugin that I think you have for NVIDIA card where it keeps your
Oh
eyes on
yeah.
the camera. So you're really just reading it, but then it looks like you're just staring right at them, right? So
Yeah.
I think the future, when this AI stuff gets really good with video, right, where it can do like live video, that's when you have to interview in person. You just can't do virtually
Yeah.
because it'll be too easy to have AI do all the work for you.
Yeah, but I think if you're asking like the kind of questions that you can cheat, like Googling and things, that's just not a good interview.
Yeah, that's true. But what can you ask now that an AI can't? It'll do the code assignments for you. It'll um,
Mm, I don't know, maybe it's something more logic, like giving
John,
a problem
John
and saying like,
John picks up a document. Bill drops
right.
the document, and then they're
Yeah,
like, "Dude, this
exactly.
is the AI answer." So I get like logic questions, but even AI can do logic questions now. Like ChatGPT can do that problem that I just described of people picking and dropping things up, and what do they have at the end of it? Um, but even those questions, like Google used to ask those questions that were very like, "Hey, how many ping pong balls can you fit on the Eiffel Tower?" And then the poor schmuck has to go on like, "Well, the cubic square feet of the Eiffel Tower, the base is this, and then it goes to a certain point. So I estimate this, the size of a ping pong ball is this." That doesn't help you in your day to day work,
Right. Yeah.
right? Like I'm not estimating how many. Maybe if I'm trying to figure out like how many containers can fit into a virtual machine.
Yeah. No, I think the
So
best interviews are the ones that, I don't know, they show you some piece of code and you have to fix little things and explain why it's working, like, or why it's failing. And yeah, just
like
if you can explain some code,
AI
you
can do that
understand it.
too, right?
Yeah.
I can copy that code over to Haley. Haley will say, "Here's where I think the bugs are. This is how you fix it." I think you had in the future, it has to be like, "Here's a laptop we're going to give you that has pre-installed software, and only certain websites are allowed."
That's
And
too
then,
expensive.
well, this it's just too easy to cheat, is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Um, but you actually have Haley wrote a blog article on cheating and education. That was, I think, today's blog that we posted up. And so actually I talked to a teacher. He plays basketball on Sundays with me, and he's embraced it. He's embraced ChatGPT. So he actually goes and his name is Paul, by the way, a tall guy, really nice guy. He actually embraces it, and he's showing the students this is the essay that ChatGPT wrote, right? Like, um, how do we improve this? How do we use this as a tool to improve this? Like, where is it not that great? Because it's very high level, generic. Where can we get into dive into some details? So it's good to know that some teachers are embracing it and they're not like, oh, this tool
Yeah, or
sucks.
at least you need to teach them how to like verify the information. Like, okay, ChatGPT said this. How do we verify that all of this is true
Yeah.
and and it's not hallucinating?
Just one long hallucination of an
Yeah.
essay. Yeah. So this past week, I've been like super tired. My body's been just like beat up, um, just like just out of it. Couldn't like I just lost desire to go to the gym because it was like hurting,
Yeah.
hard to walk. And finally today I woke up and I was like, okay, I'm actually feeling good again. Just like super low energy for the last week, and I think I might have had some sort of like flu or something, some sort of bug,
Oh,
but I didn't have like
new COVID.
yeah, but it was just like I just tired, and like my shoulders, especially my shoulders, they were
Oh,
very tired. I couldn't bench for a long time either. Um, let me get, oh, I was gonna. So now today I was like, okay, now I actually feel good. Went to the gym, was able to like lift my normal weights, so
nice.
feeling much better. Hopefully that energy carries over. It's hard to like grind when you don't feel good, right? So
Yeah,
like my
it's
every waking moment of the day, unless I'm playing like basketball or volleyball, I'm just thinking like, okay, how can I make this startup work, right? So I, like at the end of the day, I'll watch a movie, but then I have my phone in my hand, and I'm like also like thinking like, how do I make this thing work? So I was watching a YouTube video on like entrepreneurship and um, how the easy life is just get a job, right? And get paid, and you can read fiction as you're traveling to your on the bus
yeah,
to your job, and it's like it was an interesting talk on entrepreneurship. So um, it can grind on you. It can like it's much more stressful, right? When you're trying to like um, make a space for yourself in a crowded field. We're in a crowded field of chatbots. This is a very
yeah.
hot area, chatbots. So, how do you build something that's unique? How do you tell people about it without getting banned from Reddit, which has happened over and over again? So I'm not even going on Reddit anymore. I'm gonna just like um, stop using Reddit altogether. But I do have like nice. I do like Reddit for certain subreddits that have like hints and tricks and new stuff that's coming out in the AI space. So I still kind of go there for that, but I'm no longer engaging and posting stuff. Um, I'm
What happened about all the drama for the API and
People still like post. You'll see two things. You'll see Hail Spez. Spez is the username of the CEO, and then you'll see ones that say fuck Spez. And so yeah, I guess it's like he was right. After a while, people forget, they move on.
there's a new drama that I think yesterday or I don't remember why. The creator of Ruby on Rails, I don't know if you saw that. Like yeah,
DHH. Yeah.
uh, they had this I don't know this library that was writing in TypeScript, and
Mm-hmm.
he say fuck it, we are moving everything to JavaScript. We are removing types because
Uh-huh.
he just feels like it, and yeah, he just removed TypeScript, and yeah,
So
and everyone was complaining.
he single-handedly removed TypeScript from Ruby on Rails for the newest. I don't even know what version it
No,
is,
not
and
for Ruby. They have this project called I think Turbo. I don't know what is it for, but it was on TypeScript, and yeah, now it's in JavaScript. No types, no type safety for you. So yeah,
What was his reasoning? He just got frustrated with it.
Yeah, he said like the code was like less readable and some things. Let me find the tweet. And there's this other guy that made a pull request to the same repo, like adding all the types again, and it was closed.
We could use sweep and like add types back to this project.
Right. Here's the link.
You want to put it in the comments? Let's see here. So farewell, TypeScript. May you bring much rigor and satisfaction to your tribe while letting the rest of us enjoy JavaScript in this glorious spirit it was originally designed, free of strong typing. Well, why do you add it in the first place?
I don't know.
Like,
I think he's just looking for attention, something like that.
All right. Well, do we use TypeScript in our React code?
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Duh. We want types.
Right.
Too many
No,
bugs.
yeah, it prevents a lot of bugs and runtime errors, and yeah, JavaScript, plain JavaScript is a pain.
So yeah, I don't think I did like some tutorials on TypeScript a long time ago, but never. I mean, I'm not really a front end dev. I'm more back end. So here's the article. No, I did another. I did the previous one that was like, this is our company. These are tools we use. This is how much it costs. It's not that expensive. You want to start your own business, but that didn't get any likes or whatever. So this time I added emojis to the title to catch people's eye. So the other one that I'm focusing on is build in public. So that's actually a big thing that's happening on like Twitter for that hashtag is building in public. And we build in public. We're open source. We broadcast our meetings so people know what we're doing. We're not doing like shady stuff behind anybody's back to sell your data or target anybody in any way. So I start out with intro that's talking about we're open source, say what Haley is, a section about why we're building in public. I link to the stream that we have. Like if I click here, you can see this is we're currently live, right? And that's showing up there. And it looks like it's updating it on the fly too. That's cool. So I talk about the benefits of doing that in public, transparency, learning, knowledge sharing, collaborative input, building a community. The benefits of Haley, you know that pretty well by now. Focus on the top, whereas doing like code, and the next answering questions. And then how to install Haley. And then we've discussed this over the last week that we just need that README rock solid that a noob can come in, they can just install it because they could go and install it at the free tier, but if they want to try the unlimited pro or semantic search, they can do the GitHub stuff, right? So sometimes you have people that have money but they don't have time, right? And then you have people that have a lot of time but they don't have money. So here we get both, right? So and then hopefully those people like what they see and what they use, and they talk about it with their friends, as a way to spread the word. Word of mouth is always the strongest type of marketing you can do. So here we have these are the step-by-step directions for the video that shows how to install Haley. And then when you have your video of how to do following the README, then we'll put that into this blog also. Then I have a section about SmartSearch and asking for beta users. I got another good lead today also on a beta user. So I think we're going to aim for like 5 to 8 beta users, and that'll get to us to a good spot where we know what we're building that works. So I'll make this go live and share it on our social media and stuff as soon as I want to run through the README too. And then Parvez is going to have a friend of his have her run through the README and try it out locally. So we're going to have a lot of people that are noobs, and I can always come at it from the eyes of a noob, um, try and do the installation part. So it's got to be like, we're going to hold your hand and walk through this video and we're going to make it work without problem, right? So that's going to be our big push on the open source side. So, we talked about before, do we want to open source our billing backend? That I don't know if that brings anybody real value. The cool stuff's in Slackbot, right?
Yeah, it's just the other thing is just an API. Maybe we will, if we want to like open source the SmartSearch.
That'll be open source. Yeah.
Yeah, but if we use our API, we will need to open source that. But yeah, we will need to think about it.
Yeah. So yeah, we're gonna have to probably open source them. We don't have any secrets or anything built into the code, right?
No, but maybe we need to be more careful about a few things.
Yeah, it makes it more complicated, right? If you have to stand up multiple services to get something to work, you're going to start losing, we had this debate before, like, is GitHub people, are they all experts at coding and stuff? And my experience has been, if I go, sometimes I see a cool project, like Llama, right? Open source, but no way am I going to go in there and debug their project, right? I just want to clone it, I want to run it, and then it works. If it doesn't work, I abandon it immediately.
Yeah, but you already know how GitHub works, and you have worked with code sometime. Maybe you don't want to debug it, but you have some idea. I think someone that's like not in this space will go to GitHub and say, "No, I'm out of here." It's like
so it's more of like Parvez. He's smart enough and has enough knowledge to be able to clone a repo and do that sort of thing, and like he learned about terminal and stuff. But like if you have completely no knowledge of how to do a git clone, right, you shouldn't be on GitHub.
Right. Yeah.
Right. But you should be able to, do our free tier that's available to you.
Yeah.
But like, we were talking about like, should the person know Python, right? And so there's plenty of repos where I've downloaded their stuff and I wanted to try it out. That was in a language that, I'm not familiar with, right? I'm smart enough to figure out how to do most procedural languages, right? But I'm not going to go in there and debug someone's project, right? Yeah. So we're trying to get I guess it's not super noob, but enough to be dangerous. I know enough to be able to see you do a video of how to do it, right? So they can just like copy, paste in the commands, and then run it. Some people, they've never seen a terminal in their life, right? Yeah. So this is not for you. If the open source route is not for you if you've never seen a terminal before in your life. Now it's not too much to learn of it. Like Parvez, he learned it in a week or two, right? And you can watch plenty of tutorials and stuff. So there's a little bit of pain and suffering you have to go through to at least get to that point. So, in the beginning, I was just like, we're going to be open source, but we're not going to really like broadcast too much about it. Now I've like changed. I'm like DHH. I'm like, you know what? Fuck proprietary software. Open source for life. Let's go. All right. Let me ping here, and then we'll do stand up here. How's your paddleball?
I didn't play. I had a dinner last night, so I couldn't play. I trained on Tuesday, but my leg is like hurting me a bit because I went for a run on Sunday, and I don't know, the next day it started like bothering me. So yeah, I'm like trying to slow down a bit.
Yeah, that's what I do this last week.
Get some rest. Yeah.
Just rest. Like I had a bum wrist And I'm playing basketball can really beat me up. Volleyball, not so much, except for maybe my Achilles. But basketball, like if you fall on that pavement, it's gonna leave bruises and bumps and marks. Running into people, and then on Sunday, I was slapping at the guy. I was holding the ball, and I like slapped at it hard with my weak wrist, and I was like, "Oh, that was fucking stupid." So, but I think so. I'm starting a league. It's tonight,
Right.
8 p.m. Yeah. So
Nice.
I didn't really practice at all this week, just because I was just like, there was no motivation. My body's beat up, and like I'm just feeling tired. Like I feel like I have some sort of virus or something.
Mhm.
But I show up an hour early before the game. I like practice, and then I'll play. But my cardio sucks, so then I'm just like huffing and puffing in the game. So, when I'm like practicing, it's like just like by myself, not really huffing and puffing,
But
not
then
really.
you have
Yeah,
to
I'm not,
defend on the game.
you got to
That's
defend. You got to
different.
do all that stuff. Yeah, so it's different, right? I should be practicing like I play sprints, layups, tire
Right.
myself out, do that. I think Magic Johnson, when he was trying to get his bump from in free throws, he was like in the 90% mark or whatever, and he's trying to bump it up a little more to become like the leader in the league. He was like, okay, what I need to do is run a bunch and then shoot practice free throws while I'm tired. And that actually helped him get to the next level. So
Yeah.
Chief something officer, thank you for joining. You're chief AI officer. You're
Hey guys,
Hey, you're
I'll update the title.
all right. You want to tell us what you've been up to?
Working on the heli part of the semantic search, exploring how to trigger jobs, how to integrate. Um, so one of the issues I had is that I'm not sure if handling inserting embeddings direct right in heli is a good idea because it
Mhm.
might be a little bit of a heavy operation. So maybe we need to queue it up somehow and then have a worker that does the job. So these queries to GPT to embeddings might be slow, right? And if it
Mm.
blocks further processing of the request of so I'm also not sure what else is done while processing messages
Can you
advancement.
do async? Like in the past, instead of like spinning off a new service, what I would do is I would do a async thread. So like it gets the data, starts off on a thread, it returns back, but the thread goes off and does the posting. Now, it's async, so if that thing fails, that message is never going to get there. But that was one tactic, was just to have a thread go off, do that separate.
Yes, we could. Uh, yeah, sure. I need to take a closer look at how it's currently working in Heli
Mhm.
processing of the messages. Maybe Fede can help me here, uh, and then probably we'll decide about the strategy of how to process that without blocking the main process.
All right, sounds good. You guys ready to see
Maybe,
the?
yeah, using a queue at this point probably is an overhead, right?
Yeah, I mean, we can get very fancy and sophisticated with like pub sub, and because we have a limit of how much we can post, right? So somehow we need to be able to throttle appropriately if too many messages are coming in, because Slack is gonna rate limit us per
Yeah,
org. So we have to also be sophisticated enough to rate limit within an org. Like if one org is slowing us down, don't go and slow down all the orgs, like that sort of thing.
yeah, that's yeah. We will work it out. Okay.
So let me share the spec. We're gonna talk about the user interface. So here's and correct me or suggest otherwise if you think it's whatever I'm saying is a dumb idea. show the top 5 messages, concatenate the messages so they aren't super long. So if some message is like someone wrote an essay, right, just show maybe the most relevant, if possible, part of it, or just the beginning of it, and let them expand that message out, right? I don't know if that's possible with BlockKit, but that'd be the nice thing. Optionally, they click on it, it takes them to the actual message. The problem there is if we're doing modals, we lose that modal, right? So
Do we want to
ideally,
show like the full message, or can we like just put the link and Slack will automatically show like a preview and a link like with the date and everything?
I don't know.
If you only put the link, if you like paste a link to another message on Slack, it will automatically show you a preview of the message.
I don't know if that works in BlockKit.
Oh, okay.
Easy to try. They have a great tool. Put the link in there, see if it expands, but I don't think they would do that for BlockKit.
Okay.
But
yeah, it should work.
yeah, so like I was looking into some stuff like how do you do smaller text versus bigger text, and I couldn't figure that out. There was no, they must have something, but I couldn't find it. All right, so how does the top 5 messages sound? So long as we're not showing like super long messages, right? We're just showing the concatenated version of it.
Yeah, I think it's okay.
We get the top 20. We filter those out based off of relevance, and then we show the top whatever that the LLM model said these are relevant.
It's currently top 30, I guess, or 50. I don't recall.
Yeah,
See.
top 50, whatever, right? We're not going to throw all that
Yeah.
the user at once, but we're going to rate them and whatnot. Show summary of answer from LLM. Okay. So the first thing you show is the response, right? The next thing is you have the messages, and then I have like a picture of the person who said it, and also like it says, well, I'll get to that. Have the messages be linkable so that you can get to the actual context, right? I think that's super important. If they're in a long thread, you want to know what was being discussed there. Sorry, did you say something? Yeah, did you say anything? No? All right. So let's start with modals. No. So modals work both in...
No, so
okay. So the modals, I've seen them, they work in desktop. The BlockKit does not show you mobile modals, but apparently they work there too. So
yeah, they work.
A button to share the summary, right? So they can post. Now here, I want to get your guys' feedback. Should it be just to the current channel that they're doing the thing from, or it should be like a share button where now it drops down and says, where do you want to share? Do you want to send to a particular user? Do you want to send to a channel, multiple users? That's why I have here determine that. I need to close parentheses. So the actual query taking a while. So we want to show something kind of entertaining while they're waiting for the result. So, sometimes it'll just be text saying like, calculating the circumference of the earth. And then, it's like saying just some wacky, funny stuff. Have you seen that before in an app?
Yeah, but I don't know if you can do that. Could you do that, like on a model? I think you have to send the full content. And
I think you can do a modal that does that because it said that. This was a suggestion from the Slack BlockKit modals. They said like, if you're going and fetching stuff, you want to be showing something while they're waiting.
All right.
So if we can make that wacky and fun, great. If not, hey, we're spinner or whatever, right? If the more engaging and fun you can make it, better. Hence I said entertaining searching messages or pictures or whatever you can think of there. Let's put this up here. Okay. Next, the messages show the user's profile, image. that's the best thing I could think of. It's a profile image. I don't know. It looks better, right? If it has some pictures and stuff, right, as opposed to just text everywhere. Each message shall start with the user who said them, what channel they said it in, and when they said it, and in relative. So let's say like 1 day ago, an hour ago, 3 months ago.
Yeah, I think if the links work, we don't need any of this.
Yeah, it'll do it for us. There shall be a button to get the page through the results to get back to previous messages also. Page 2. There shall be a button to get next. So pagination, right? I want to be able to just a button that says more results or whatever. In their examples in Slack, they specify like get 3 more, get 5 more, whatever. And then at the end, show the 5 subject matter X up to the 5, right? It might be just 1, it might be 5 subject matters, and then put them in the order of, like, if we're talking about Thai restaurants, Fede is always first because he's always talking about Thai food all the time. Like, he's the expert there. And then Yura, then me, in terms of that. Man, Yura heard that, he got hungry. And he went to go. All right.
I guess his internet was.
So this was the first cut that I did, right, that I shared. And then I added, this here. So it'd be nice if like this was smaller, right? Raj, and then blah, 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 set in smaller text, whatever. But I couldn't figure out how to make varying text.
Yeah, I tried that also for the home tab, and I didn't find any way to change like font size.
So yeah, the key thing here would be, can we get this to be linkable? Like you said, if we can just put that link and it fills it out for us, fantastic. Otherwise, also if this is a really long post, concatenate it, and then maybe have a button that there's an overflow thing in Blockhead. So if you do overflow, you can click the button and then it will
expand. Oh, nice.
So all right, does that look good? Do you have any suggestions of how we can improve it? I think it's pretty straightforward.
Oh yeah, it looks pretty good. I'm still worried about the modal, like losing the content. If you want, I don't know, to go to a message and then you want to come back, you have to ask the same question again to get the modal.
Yeah, but it's kind of like search now, right? When you search, you'll do a drop down of the results, and then if you go somewhere else, it's gone, right?
Yeah, but maybe you open it in a different tab, or.
Well, if you can do both, and then we compare and contrast, and I can do a test with the user. Hey, what do you prefer, user? Do you like the modal? Do you like just as a message that's ephemeral, whatever, right? So I think the modal looks cooler, right? There's always like if it looks cooler, people are more impressed. The optics matter, so we'll see. We'll do some testing with the users to get their feedback. All right. Any feedback from you, Yura? Any suggestions? He's in awe. It's so beautiful.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we hear you now.
Yep.
Yeah, I had some issues with my CPU. So yeah, it looks good. So we want to implement pagination at this point, right?
Yeah.
And it's gonna be in your request each time, or we're gonna load all 50 something messages in one go and then just display.
Actually, I'm not sure. That's the implementation detail. So
yes,
you're not gonna show all of them. We're gonna just show the top 5, and then you can do more. So if it makes sense, you already have the data, load it in, and then hide it.
Yeah, so we need to persist the query result somewhere in order to keep it consistent, because query will generate different results every time, right? Because we use GPT, we use fuzzy search. If we want a pagination with consistent results, we will have to store the results somewhere for the query.
Yeah, let me see. Designing. I can show you the templates here. So this is a search one, right? They're searching for some agent or something. They can manage it. And then they have this next 5 result thing. And then they have this
Are
other
you
one.
showing some?
Oh,
I don't
I'm
see.
sorry. I'm showing the wrong screen. Let me know when you see it.
See.
I see it.
Okay, so here's one. And I don't know what this 3 dots. Maybe we have something, because the other one thing that we want to get to eventually is like the ability to specify the dates that you look for within. Maybe you could just do that in the search. Like, give me things that came from yesterday versus 2 weeks ago, right? Maybe just like a way to filter the mess. I don't know. So, but this is the main thing at the bottom of it. You can hit whatever, and then it shows the next results, and then maybe you can page back and forth.
Mm-hmm.
But don't rerun the query, right? If you can, if you bring all that into here, but it's hidden and it's a part of the paging, fantastic.
So yeah, we'll have an index for each search query, and we'll make the client application to use this index for the pages, right? The backend will cache the results somehow.
I don't know if you.
Yeah.
I think you can look. You can give it the whole thing, maybe, and then it's a part of no.
No, because when you click this button, it will like send a new event, and it will be like handling
So the
an
last thing
event
I
with
want
that
to have us
context.
do is like query cursors, and then you have to walk through this pre-existing. You cache the results. And then
Maybe
you
we
walk.
can use, if you say we can like expand things, we can like show the first 5 and hide the others, but
Mhm.
they are still there. Maybe
Yeah.
we can do
Yeah.
it that way, so we don't need to
Mm-hmm.
paginate.
We
or
need to make
split
sure
everything.
it's not gonna add an extra like resource consumption on the client side.
Right.
That these hidden results are not heavy somehow.
All right. That's all I got. Anything else from anybody?
Now we're good.
All right. Thank you, Fede. I'll see you later for the impact meeting.
Yeah, in a few hours. Yeah, I'll be there.
Later, guys. Bye.
Thanks,
Thanks,
guys.
Chris.
See you. Bye.